The victims of this disaster didn't drown.
They suffocated standing upright in something normally poured on pancakes, and the company responsible had been warned for months. At 12:40 in the afternoon, in the middle of Boston, a steel tank burst open and released a 25-foot wave that moved faster than a person could run. People heard the noise, looked outside, and didn't run, because what they saw didn't look dangerous. It looked like a spill, dark, almost harmless, until buildings started lifting off their foundations. The tank held over 2 million gallons of molasses, and it had been leaking since the day it was built. Children filled cups from the cracks. Neighbors complained their houses were turning brown. Instead of fixing it, the owners painted the tank darker so the stains wouldn't show. Then, on a warm winter day in January 1919, the pressure inside finally caught up with the lie. January 15th was unusually warm for winter. The temperature suddenly rose above 40 degrees Fahrenheit. Molasses expands in heat. Inside the tank, pressure began to build. At 12:40 p.m., witnesses heard what they described as a machine gun made of metal, rivets snapping one after another. Then the entire structure failed. The ground shook, and a dense brown wall burst into the streets at 35 miles per hour, faster than a sprinting human. This wasn't liquid like water. Molasses is thick, heavy, and sticky. Imagine wet cement moving like a wave. Buildings were lifted off foundations. A fire station collapsed instantly. A train was pushed off its tracks. Horses were trapped mid-gallop and suffocated where they stood. People didn't understand the danger because the first seconds were silent. Then came the screaming. Rescuers later said victims were stuck as if held in glue. The more they struggled, the deeper they sank. Survivors reported something unsettling: the smell. The entire neighborhood smelled like warm candy. Some thought a candy factory had exploded. By the time they realized the truth, escape was impossible. 21 people died. Over 150 were injured, and the city had no idea how to clean it up. For weeks, Boston was coated. Molasses filled basements, soaked clothing, and glued doors shut. Harbor water turned brown. But the real impact wasn't physical, it was legal. This disaster created one of the first major corporate negligence lawsuits in American history. There are over 100,000 pages of testimony for this one case. The company argued the tank was bombed by anarchists. Investigators proved otherwise. It had been dangerously built from the start. The victims won, and modern building safety laws were born from syrup. Today, there's no tank in Boston's North End, just a small plaque. But locals still say, on very hot days, you can smell molasses in the air. A disaster so strange, it sounds fictional.